I think when my teachers were in high school, it was probably like the education was different. There were different types of books, and people thought of, I guess, students differently. There's some better things, but some also worse things. I mean, things have improved, and we've learned more about students and high school students and how they think and feel things, and also what they're going through has gotten a lot more well known. So
Probably stressful and chaotic. It's probably hard to keep a lot of kids in line. So, yeah.
High school, when I was a teenager, it was it was a fun time. I felt like we probably had a little bit more craziness than the high schoolers can get away with these days, or the students these days, as far as just social media aspect of things. Nobody ever saw what we were doing. Nothing ever got posted. You just never really saw anything except for what was right in front of you. There was never any, knowing who's doing this somewhere else or anything like that. So I think the aspect of, from school now to how it was when I was in high school, there's just so many kids are more involved with worldwide things, countrywide things where they can see what other people are doing on the other side of the world, or what other people are fighting for, or standing up for, or being against, or anything like that. Where back when I was in high, it was either if you didn't watch the news, you didn't know what's going on, and if you didn't talk to your parents about what was going on, you didn't know what was going on. You just knew what was going on in your life, and that was it.
High school when I was a teenager was not too much different from what you guys have, other than we didn't have computers at every desk everywhere like out here. Most of our stuff was all handwritten. It's all really, the same curriculum for the most part, other than some of the tech stuff has changed. But really, I didn't go to school that much long ago. So
We're in a smaller school, so there's not much to do. So it's really repetitive. And it's unless it's kind of hard to make new friends because there's not a lot of people. So if it's hard to be part of the other groups too once they already established.
For me, I loved it. It was for the social atmosphere, for the learning environments. I went to a technical high school, so not only did I get to do a bunch of classroom stuff during the day, but after lunch, I got to learn electrical, engineering, automotive. It's also where Mr. Blocher went to high school. So you name it, I got the education, whether I wanted it or not. But definitely loved it for more than anything, the social aspect of school.
When you were a teenager?
When I was a teenager, high school was a little bit more regulated, I guess. We had pretty strict rules about behavior, and there were more strict consequences. But ironically, there were also things that students could do that they can't do now. For example, we had a smoking area in our high school. The kids could go out and smoke. It was called Marlboro Country. Also, marijuana usage was frowned upon, but it was well known that quite a few students smoked marijuana. My high school had a really forward-thinking health program, which was really cool. So I would say, high schools nowadays are more traditional in that. But I really enjoyed high school because I could be involved in a lot of things that I wish Jules students could. Like, for example, I was in drama, and I had the choice of 7 different sports to participate in. And we had a pottery class, which was awesome, and fine arts class, which was cool. So, it was different, but it was a lot of fun.
I think it's tough for most kids because, in general, and I was this way when I was your guys' age, but kids think they know everything. And that's to the nth degree now because with the internet, if they want to know something about anything, they can just Google it, look it up. And so they're probably 10 times more knowledgeable than any of us were at my age. So they might not think they need it, that they already know everything. And then the social aspect, why I loved high school, we didn't have cell phones and all that. We were forced to talk to each other. So, you guys, I don't see that a lot of time. Hey, you guys know we're making...
I think that high school is really difficult for kids now compared to when I was in high school because college has become so expensive that kids have to think a lot earlier about what they want to do for their years following high school. Like I took a whole year just to explore what I wanted to do in college. I took all different kinds of classes, knowing that, I'd probably change my mind several times. That's not so much an option nowadays because college can easily cost $30,000 to $50,000 a year for kids. So, also, kids are dealing with different things. When I was in high school, the biggest drug that kids were involved in was marijuana. Now there's a lot of other drugs, and their parents are involved in drugs a lot more than when I was in high school.